Welcome to today's episode of How the Game Was Won. And today we are at the European Team Chess Championship for round 3 match between Hungary and France, and in particular the game between Rapport with the white pieces and Fressinet with the black pieces. And one thing that must be important to note especially from Rapport's point of view, is when you're playing a fellow grandmaster that's rated much higher than you are, one particular tactic that you could employ is to uncork a completely unusual opening, especially when your much stronger grandmaster opponent has a reputation for being really strong on his home preparation as far as openings are concerned. The outcome of that can be viewed either as genius or completely foolish, and those two terms will be allocated depending entirely on the outcome of the game. But it must be said, with these type of completely unusual and different openings, they're what you can commonly refer to as a condom opening. It's the type of opening you use once and then you discard. You do not pull it back out again to use a second time. But without further ado, let's look at how this unusual opening set itself up on the chessboard. We begin with f4, d5, knight f3, g6, c4, c6, e3, bishop g7, knight c3, knight f6, d4. And the position at the moment resembles something sort of like a Stonewall setup. But the pawn is on c4 at the moment instead of c3, where it normally resides, which gives white much more flexibility in this position. Continuing with castles, bishop e2, e6. Now we are in some sort of virgin territory. There's nothing really previous, and we're only 7 moves into the game, and we're completely into new territory as far as opening theory is concerned. Castles, d takes on c4. Giving up the center is generally not a good idea, and especially when you're in such a completely unknown opening setup, giving up the center is exactly the wrong thing to do, simply because you're wanting to maintain sound opening principles when you're playing against somebody that's uncorking something completely different. Bishop takes on c4, knight b to d7, e4, b5, bishop d3, b4, knight a4, c5. And here Fressinet gives up a pawn, and but now he will be down on material for the rest of the game. Knight takes on c5, knight takes on c5, d takes on c5, bishop b7, e5, knight d5, knight g5, queen a5, knight e4, rook f to c8. Here, for instance, another option for Fressinet could have been the dubious f5 with e takes on f6, knight takes on f6, knight takes on f6 with check, bishop takes on f6, bishop e3, bishop b takes on b2, rook b1, bishop c3. But this doesn't work at all, because after bishop c4 followed by queen g4, white has a really strong initiative. For instance, rook a to d8, queen g4, bishop d5, bishop takes on d5, e takes on d5, f5, and it's a really strong initiative and attack for white busy building over there. So after rook f to c8, king h1, and from this position it was just simply a grinding technique that Rapport managed to grind his way down over the course of the remainder of the game. And just from the technique patterns are concerned, I'll play through the rest of the game without major commentary whatsoever, and because this is one of the super rare grandmaster games that actually plays its way all the way down into a checkmate at the end. So without further ado, we continue with bishop a6, a3, bishop f8, bishop takes on a6, queen takes on a6, knight d6, rook c7, bishop d2, b3, rook c1, rook b8, rook f3, queen a4, rook c4, queen a6, queen c1, queen c6, h3, rook d7, queen f1, rook a6, so queen a6 was broken. Queen a6, f5, e takes an f5, rook takes an f5, g takes an f5. Now you'll notice here that with that sacrifice, it's opened up this gaping hole in front of the black king, which all that white, for instance, would need to do would be to bring the knight into the f5 square and then get his queen down to, for instance, g3, and then you've got a really strong mating attack happening down here towards g8. Continuing with rook g4 check, f takes in g4, opening up a path for the queen to be able to get into. Queen takes an a6, knight e7, e6, f takes an e6. Now there are even more gaping holes in front of the black king. Queen a4, rook c7, queen takes on g4 with check. Now if you want to pause the video right here and see if you can find the forced combination that will wind up into a checkmate at the end of it. We're talking about, if I play black's moves, knight g6, so from this point onwards you've got a forced mate in 4. So pause the video here and see if you can find the mate in 4 from this position. Did you manage to find it? Well, here it goes. You start off with queen takes an e6 with check. King goes to h8. The knight comes into f7 with check. The king has to come back to g8. The knight goes to h6 with check. Means the king has to go to h8 and the queen comes into g8 with checkmate. It's a classic mating pattern and one that young new players will be well worth their while to learn that pattern, because you'll be able to employ it time and time again in many of your games. That, my friends, is how the game was won. Rapport managed to take the win against the higher rated Fressinet. Hungary picks up the point against France. Feel free to post any comments and questions or criticisms that you have about this video in the comment section down below the video. Share this out amongst all your chess friends. Give me a thumbs up if you like this type of content. Remember that down below the screen is a big red subscribe button. If you subscribe to my channel, you'll be able to stay up to date with all of the new How the Game Was Won videos that get posted day to day, week to week. In the meantime, until we meet again, stay safe, don't get yourself lost or killed, and stay carved up for the win, and I'll see you next time. Cheers.